Ladies, hello. Excuse me. Please come to the podium. I have an announcement. This one is for you. The GOP's agenda for American women has been on full display lately, and I think we should talk about it. Let's start with voting rights. What the GOP has in mind for women around their right to vote. Watch these clips.
I think as well. I think this video has made me rethink the 19th Amendment, but let's keep it going. No actual American girl that grew up in a, traditional, normal American family wants a guy that goes to the Women's March. I don't even care if they're liberal.
When women were granted the right to vote, the nation had already accepted the lie that a nation is nothing more than a collection of individuals. And so the matter was framed this way. Men as individuals can vote, so why cannot individual women do the same? We were so muddled, we thought we were giving the franchise to women when we were in fact taking it away from families.
Perhaps single women don't exist in this old man's view of the world. Perhaps only men can be individuals and women are simply floating, unmoored, until they are rescued, tethered by men, and finally, they can be a part of something meaningful. It's ridiculous, to be honest with you. There are Republican commentators, policymakers, and politicians who would swiftly take away your voting rights, ladies, if they could. But shockingly, it doesn't stop there. Some Republicans are advocating to limit access to birth control and are advocating for making it harder for women to get a divorce. One such advocate is J.D. Vance, who is a clean-cut, well-spoken Trump VP hopeful that you should be looking out for. So I want you to listen to a recent interview he had with Jake Tapper. Watch this.
I want to protect as many unborn babies as possible. I also think we have to win the trust back of the American people. And one of the ways to do that is to be the truly pro-family party. I think we are. We've got to carry that message forward and actually enact some public policy to that effect.
Is birth control part of that policy, empowering women to be able to make those decisions before they get pregnant?
Look, obviously people need to be able to make those decisions. I don't think that I know any Republican, at least not a Republican with a brain, that's trying to take those rights away from people. But I think it goes deeper than that.
I mean, I could provide a list for you if you wanted.
Well, okay, not anybody I talk to, Jake.
Got him. We could provide a list. There's literally a list. Just earlier this month, Senate Republicans blocked the Right to Contraception Act, which aimed to codify the right to access to birth control nationwide. And if that isn't part of a broader GOP effort to limit reproductive rights and control the bodies of women, I don't know what is. The irony is that the National Republican Senate Committee urged GOP candidates to publicly support birth control to counter the claims of Democrats. This comes after a number of efforts have been made to limit women's access to things that allow them to control their own fate and their own bodies, including IVF, and of course, as we know, reproductive rights, abortion. The interesting thing about all of this is that the majority of Americans, including many Republicans, support access to contraception. But many of them are so captured by the interests of extreme Christian nationalists, those on the far right, that they are unable to say things that just make sense. This matters because these kinds of efforts are being normalized and rolled out in states across the whole country. And so it matters what they say on this, because if you were to read Project 2025, there's language in there that seems to suggest that women should not be able to control their own bodies, that give preference to those who are in marriages, and certainly is rooted in an ethic of patriarchy. Last but not least, ladies, they want to limit your ability to make decisions about your relationships. J.D. Vance, who we saw earlier, along with a number of GOP figures, have been advocating for the repeal or restriction of no-fault divorce, arguing that these laws have undermined the institution of marriage and led to social decay. People like Ben Carson advocate for legislation to remove or limit, again, no-fault divorce to quote-unquote protect families. J.D. Vance, in fact, back in 2021, J.D. Vance suggested that even in violent marriages, divorce should be difficult to preserve family stability. Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, Christian nationalist, promotes what is called covenant marriage, a stricter form of marriage, of a marriage contract that would require counseling and proof of specific faults for a divorce to go through. Sometimes this takes a long time, which means, here's the thing, this means that women aren't able to get out of abusive relationships sooner, that they have to jump through difficult, if not impossible hoops to prove that they deserve a divorce. Researchers have found that this has a profound impact on women. Studies show that no-fault divorce laws significantly reduce domestic violence and suicides among women, which of course has an impact on kids as well. So you have to ask yourself, ladies, why do they wish to control what you do so much? The interesting thing is that a number of women will see these policies, they'll see these desires, and they will still cast their vote in favor of it. I think AOC said it best, so watch this.
And so we're supposed to sit here on this side of the dais and to ranking member Lee's point, see a party that has voted against women's access to abortion, voted against our right, the Lilly Ledbetter Equal Pay Act, voted against the Violence Against Women Act, voted against our right to have access to contraception, and also doesn't even vote for equal funding, equitable funding in women's sports. And I'm supposed to believe that this is who's looking out for my best interests? I think not. And to that, I yield back.
I think not. What do you think? Let us know down in the comments. I guess I should introduce myself. I'm Garrison Hayes, not Jesse Dollemore, though this is the Dollemore Daily. I'm sitting in for Jesse this week. I'd love to know what you think about this issue. Drop some thoughts down in the comments, but also would you consider going over and checking out my YouTube channel? You can find the link down in the description as well. I'm making videos about race, about history, about politics, about current events, about culture. And so come through. Check me out. Check me out. You can also find me on social media. All of my tags are right here. Shout out to our editor, Chris. Hello. Jesse, all of his tags are here. Are you subscribed to this channel? This is Jesse's channel, so subscribe to this channel as well. It's a phenomenal place where you get some daily news updates. So make sure you are subscribed. Tell us what you think down in the comments. Would love to know what you're thinking about the way the GOP is angling toward getting the women vote, the steps they're taking to secure the vote of women. Let us know down in the comments. As always, I'm glad you're here, my friends. Until next time, peace.